Welcome to this post-race press conference for this, the first of 3 races here at Brands Hatch. Terrific race, guys, as ever. Amazing entertainment. Josh, I suppose a certain amount of frustration for you as a result of that first red flag.
Yeah, a little, but you know, the situation's equal for everybody, so it's wasn't only harming me. Everyone on the grid had the same situation, so. No, it was all right. Just didn't get a good start in the second part. Kind of got balked on the first lap, and then it took a while to sort of get past Leon. And by that time, these 2 gentlemen had cleared off. So I felt like I had, if I was with them at the start, I probably could have hung in there. But you know, with that gap and the way they were riding, was unable to bridge the gap. So. No, fair credit to them. They both rode exceptionally well. You'll start on pole for the first race tomorrow, as you may be aware. Is that going to help you be able to get the start? I didn't know that. It's a pleasant bit of news to receive. Yeah, of course, it's great. Starting from pole is always nice. It's a small, very small advantage, but there's most definitely it's worth having. So, yeah, hopefully, yeah, things are a little bit better tomorrow, and we can have a continual race, not a interrupted one. Congratulations, Josh. Thanks. Turning to Christian in. Christian, you said at the press conference earlier today after qualifying you had the race pace. That proved to be the case. Comfortable out there?
Yeah. Obviously, I set off from the first one that was red flagged and I felt really comfortable. I didn't feel quite as comfortable in the second restart, and I don't really know why. Just didn't get into the rhythm quite so well. So the plan was to do the same as what I'd done in the first bit, which was to get out and lead, and I got in the lead, and actually I wasn't as comfortable as I was to start with. So I heard the big Ducati behind me, and I knew how much pace that Shaky's got this weekend, and I was fairly sure he was going to come through. And when he did, I just wanted to latch onto him, and I knew that if I could sort of stick with him, then there was a good chance that it'd bridge the gap. But my pit board never really changed. In fact, most of the race it was coming down by about a tenth a lap. I knew that someone was there, and I was pretty sure it was Josh anyway, because I know how fast he's been going this weekend, and I know as the race goes on, he flipping gets quicker and quicker as well. So that was a bit of a concern. But yeah, the race went pretty good. There was places where I was a little bit quicker, and there was also places where I was considerably slower. So I definitely need to work on those. From about mid-race onwards, I started to get a little bit too much engine braking going on, and a bit of chatter going into the corners, which was odd because I've not had any of it all weekend. And then it sort of got worse and worse, and then it then started to misfire, and the misfire got worse as the race went on. I don't really think it cost me a great deal of time, but it was sort of going through my head, and it had me out the seat a few times because it was cutting out quite abruptly towards the end of the race. So the last 2 or 3 laps, I was really, really worried. So I was happy to maintain a reasonable pace through that. So we'll have a look and see what that was. But yeah, the bike is considerably better than what we've had before. We've had results like this before, but that was probably the easiest it's been to ride. But still got beat, so still areas to improve.
There always is, isn't there?
Aye.
Congratulations, Christian. Well done. You'll start from the middle slot on the front row tomorrow. And Shaky. Congratulations on the win. Do you want to talk about the start at the beginning, or should we just gloss over that?
Yeah, no, we'll brush over that. Starts aren't really my forte, are they? The flipping thing either jumps off the line like an absolute rocket, or it don't jump off the line at all, or it literally jumps off the line. It's really, really, really difficult. The first start, I got caught out by the lights, to be honest, because you'll have seen in Assen. I think in the first race at Assen, I got probably the best start of my career. But it was actually a semi-mistake because I put the bike in gear, waited for the lights. I was ready to go, and the bike just started, like the clutch just started to disengage a bit, and I had the front brake on, and the forks were like dipping. I was thinking, oh come on, turn the lights off, turn the lights off, turn the lights off, turn the lights off, and they did. And as they did, I literally, I didn't even move my finger, and the thing just shot off the line. It was the best start I've ever done, complete fluke. But by contrast, today I sat there, like put the thing in gear, looked up at the lights, looked back down to make sure I was like about the right RPM, and I looked up and the lights went out, and I dumped the clutch and it just went. Ruh. That's what I was like, all right, that's that start blown. But yeah, starts aren't my forte. But anyway, moving on.
Finishing is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had not the best of starts in the first race in terms of the first few laps either. You know, I sort of settled in 4th place, and I didn't really know what to do, because if I'm honest with you, I know that Josh especially and Christian and just a couple of the other guys maybe had the pace to run, you know, really, really close to me. And I didn't want to go, exactly like Christian said, I didn't want to go off the line and try and, you know, break this big gap, and then, you know, Josh comes strong at the end of the race and, you know, end up with an Assen scenario where you lead for 99% of it and then get humped and end up 5th. You know, this weekend's too important for that. So I didn't really know what the plan was going to be, but when I started the second start, I think because I'd sort of settled in a little bit in the first part, you know, everything kind of came together quite well, and I got a good exit out of Surtees, and that got me alongside Christian. And then I just thought, right, okay, just try and hit your markers now and keep the lap times consistent. And at one point I started to break him quite early on, and it went up to about plus 0.4 on my board, and I thought, right, perfect. Then it went 0.7. I thought, excellent, we're getting a gap. And the next lap it was back to 0.2. I was like, shit, he's coming back again. Do you know what I mean? And then towards the end of the race there, I just managed to you know, lower my lap times a little bit and finish the race really, really strong. And you know, luckily for me, that was enough. But you know, all we've done is put a 12-point dent in Leon's lead, and by my mathematics, that means there's still 21 points I need to overhaul. And you know, the only way we're going to do that is trying to repeat what we've done today. But these two are super fast, and yeah, there's plenty of other fast guys out there too, so I need to try and beat them all tomorrow and steal that crash helmet, because I reckon that flipping, what's his name, that guy? Lightning McQueen crash helmet. Yeah, it's brought him a bit of luck this weekend. So if I can get rid of that in the HJC stand tonight or something, can get him back on his standard one, it might give me a bit more breathing space. But yeah, it's going to be difficult tomorrow for sure. But we'll be pushing as hard as we can. My bike was great, and you know, there's a couple of small little things I think we can do to improve it. And yeah, fingers crossed that'll be enough for tomorrow.